there's been all kinds of talk about this article that was in The Guardian yesterday, and some reporter named Poppy Noor went to this medical place or something and got permission to get photos of what a pregnancy looks like before 10 weeks. And you know, it's basically, there's like an amniotic sac, and if there was a embryo in there, it's pretty tiny and translucent and all that kind of stuff. And so it's kind of the challenge to the anti-abortion crowd that no, it really is a blob of whatever, of cells and amniotic stuff and all that kind of thing. And many women that have been through like a miscarriage and stuff, they back this. They wrote on TikTok, or they wrote on Twitter, because Jessica Valenti, who's a writer and calls herself a feminist, she's been writing like a daily roundup of abortion news and stuff. But she shared it there, and there was a lot of people that said, yeah, that's, a lot of women were saying, yeah, that's the way it looks, because they saw the results of their abortion or miscarriage. And then other people say, well, no, that's not, that's a lie, that's photoshopped, it's blah, 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 blah. And, of course, that would be mostly anti-abortion people. But anyway, this is what women are secondary to. This results, and these are at different weeks during early pregnancy, and of course they've got the ruler there to kind of give you an idea how large it is. And so clinicians date pregnancy from the first day of your last period to help predict the due date if you're not pregnant during those first 2 weeks. But you're not pregnant for those first 2 weeks. So someone with a 6-week pregnancy may have very little time after a missed period to get an abortion in states with a 6-week limit. It's like a lot of people don't know what in the hell they're talking about. They're trying to practice medicine, they don't know what the hell. But a lot of people thought, no, the fetus or the embryo is a lot more developed than that. And there was all this give and take. But you know what? The anti-abortion people don't give a shit. They might claim, oh, it's that these are doctored or whatever. Well, the blood's been washed away and all that kind of stuff. It's been cleared out. So it's easier to see. But they don't really care about this, because their idea is the minute that sperm and egg unite, that's a so-called baby or human life, and that human life has to be allowed to be developed, no matter what in the hell the woman thinks, no matter how the hell that came about. That means nothing to them. A woman is a nothing but a vessel for a baby, or a thing for a man to put his dick in. And that's the way they think. Most of the time they're too polite to use the language I use. But that's what they think. And they think that if you still have this pregnancy as punishment for illicit sex or for having sex, that will make people responsible. And it'll buttress the nuclear family and all this other crap. You would not believe the hold the 1950s still holds on our society. But it was no good. And these people just don't care, okay? And that's why it's kind of dumb even to have a debate of whether these pictures are true or not. Because they don't care. Anti-abortion people don't care. They think women are subhuman. They're only good as housewives and mothers. And that's all you're supposed to be, is a homemaker and a child raiser. That's all you're for. That's all they think they're for. Or if they have a career, or a job, that's supposed to be subordinate to that baby because that's what you're for. Shit, people. This does nothing for the so-called debate because it's never been about the fetus. It's about the woman. It's always been about the woman. And whether she's seen as human or whether she's seen as an object for a man to use. And anti-abortion people think women are objects for men to use. Period. I've followed that stuff for over 50 years, ever since I was in high school. Even when I was in high school, when all this debate was raging in the States before Roe. And there is an unbelievably common belief that a woman who has an abortion is a slut. She's a whore. She's a slut. Only virtuous women don't go through this because they're supposed to save themselves for marriage. Because that's what you're for. And a lot of people that I knew married right out of high school. Some of them married right before high school. There was even a kid I went to school with. He married his girlfriend who was also a senior like him, like I was also. They got married right before graduation. They were married about a week. They had a fight, and he killed himself. A total waste of potential. Total waste of potential. And I think very little of people who marry young. Or tie themselves down very young. Because I saw what the hell this stuff was like back in the day. Because I grew up during that era. The 50s, the late 50s, I was born in the middle of the 50s, but the early 60s was pretty much like the 1950s. And that's what they did. They married right out of high school, or even in high school, and certainly after college, if they went to college. And most people didn't. But those that did, oh, certainly women got married by the age of 25. Because I was about the lone holdout. There were a couple of others that might have waited after first marriage after 25. It was like back then, as I've said before, in 1960, the median age for first marriage for women was 20. Median means half of them were married by then. And half weren't. And thousands upon thousands upon thousands of women were pregnant on their wedding day. But this is what the anti-abortion nutters want. They want that era back. So what good does it do to show this stuff? Yes, it's educational. I don't doubt this is all real. But why would they make it up? But in point of fact, it doesn't matter because it's not about the fetus. It's never been about the fetus. It never will be about the fetus. This is all about women and their status in society. Anyway, I'll link that article. Everybody's seen it. And the Jessica Valenti Twitter thread. And that is it.